Well, hi everybody. It's Gretchen tonight with another night of story and art. I am not available for my live, so I am bringing a premiere so you don't miss story time. And thanks so much for being here. I know that my bucket filling brigade is probably watching, and I hope that this helps a little bit to fill your buckets with the story, and that you get to chat to each other. Hopefully I might be able to drop in on the chat. But you know what I'm doing. If you're part of the community, you know where I am, and you know what I'm often doing and why I'm not on a live. So thank you those for being here. And I really am excited to bring you these books. I called tonight the 3Bs for blue, brown, and black. And those are the colors. There's some books about color that I have tonight. The first one that I have is by Rosa Sung Ji Chang. And she's a Korean-born visual artist, natural indigo dyer, and storyteller based in New York City and Baltimore. A graduate of the Maryland Institute College of Art and the School of Visual Arts, Rosa has had work exhibited at the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Paula Cooper Gallery, among many others. And this book is her debut picture book. So you might have heard that ring. Bob was just calling, so checking in on that. But anyway, it's her debut picture book. The illustrations are done in, what did she say in this? I caught it. They are watercolor paint and hand-dyed indigo fabric and rendered digitally. Oh, it's really, really pretty. So I've got this, and then I've got something special to show you, and then I've got one more book. So thanks for being here, and let's get to this one. And here it is. My Indigo World. A true story of the color blue. Wow. Look at this. The end papers were done with hand-dyed indigo paper. Fabric. My Indigo World. I was a daydreamer when I was a girl growing up in Korea. I would look out the window and always see blue. I fell in love with the color blue. In autumn, there was strong shades of blue sky we called jjok. There was a blue stripe sitting among other colors on my baby hanbok, a traditional Korean garment. My first trip to Jeju Island with my grandmother and mom was full of excitement. That's when I first saw for myself how the blue of the sky meets the blue of the sea. And I remember seeing the darkest blue of all in the night sky during a camping trip in the woods. I was a grown-up living in the United States when a friend gave me a handful of seeds from a special plant growing in his backyard. The next morning, I planted the seeds in my own garden, not realizing these indigo seeds would change my life. I soon learned that people around the world had been growing indigo plants for centuries. It's from the leaves of these plants that the most beautiful blue dyes have long been made. The blue used for traditional Japanese kimonos, the blue for which West Africa's most highly prized fabrics are known, the deep and soulful blue found in Guatemalan hand-woven rugs, even blue jeans were once dyed using indigo. Now I grow indigo plants with my friends on a little farm in the middle of Baltimore. You might wonder, how can such a plant, small plant, with leaves so green, be the source of this amazing deep shade of blue for the people of the world? Come join us and we'll show you. Early in the spring, we plant indigo seeds indoors. We fill the seedling trays, sometimes plastic egg cartons or yogurt containers, with potting soil. Then we put in the seeds and place the trays in the sunny place in our homes. Once the indigo plants sprout, we take them outdoors and replant them in the garden. Earthworms help make the soil nice and loose. Other animals, for instance, chickens from the neighbor's garden, help enrich the soil too with their poop. Indigo plants grow well in the hot sun and the heavy rains of summer. We know it's time to harvest the plants when the leaves turn a darker green and are big enough to cover the palm of my hand. As we work together, we pause to thank the earth, the indigo plants themselves, and everyone who joins us in the garden. Next, we cut down the indigo stalks and gather the leaves. The ground may look bare, but in a month's time, the plants will have grown back for us to harvest again. But how do we get a blue dye from these green plants? The answer is with the help of a secret ingredient that lives inside the indigo leaves. It's called indican. When it mixes with the oxygen and water, the process of creating indigo dye begins. We put our harvested leaves in jars or pots and add water. Place heavy stones on top of the leaves and wait. Can you see the color of the water starting to change? Water waits in the indigo leaves. Around 2 days later, we notice the water changing to greenish yellow. And then this. A few days later, we return to remove the stones and leaves, and look, the water has turned a beautiful turquoise color. All this color has come from the leaves, but it is still not the blue we want. To deepen the blue color, we now pour the liquid into a big container and stir it with a wooden stick. We want the liquid to mix with the oxygen in the air. We want the liquid to breathe. Next, we add one more special ingredient, calcium hydroxide, or pickling lime, which is another chemical found in nature. Here in Baltimore, we buy pickling lime at the store, but my ancestors in Korea made it themselves by grinding burned oyster shells or other seashells. As we keep stirring the mixture, we catch glimpses of a rainbow of colors in the turquoise water: sky blue, dandelion yellow, purple, and green. At last, we see at the bottom of the pot the color I call the real blue, a dense and rich blue paste, the bluest blue of all. In Korea, we call this treasured blue shade niram. This is a magical time. Everyone gathers in the garden with whatever they want to dye with indigo. Now our indigo garden is aglow with the beautiful shade of niram. While we admire each other's work, we learned about what indigo means to each of us. Indigo means community. It means sharing stories with friends. To me, indigo is a treasure we pass down to our children. Indigo is the color of love. It's the color of healing, and it's deeper than any other blue. I think indigo is the color in which lives the spirit and soul of my people. I too wonder, what does indigo mean for me? It holds many different meanings. In indigo, I can see the rich history of my motherland, Korea. I see our lost culture and our effort to find our roots again. But in the United States and other countries, indigo also has a painful past. For some people, indigo has been a symbol of blood, sweat, and tears, and exploitation. People have often fought over indigo because it was worth so much money. Many people have been enslaved because of indigo, forced to leave their homes and land to work on indigo farms owned by others. It is important to remember the pain along with the joy. Now, as my friends and I work in our garden together, we hope we can turn all those tears into love and care for others. When fall comes, bright pink and white flowers bloom on the indigo plants. Bugs gorge themselves on the nectar of the flowers. Don't drink too much, Mr. Bumblebee. Then in late fall, we harvest indigo seeds from the flowers and share them with our friends and neighbors who helped us earlier in the year. We feel indigo love spreading as we share our seeds, and I think of my friend who first gave me a handful of seeds. When winter comes, it is silent in the garden, but we stay busy indoors creating indigo art and talking about our dreams for the world. On those cozy winter days, I sometimes think back to when I was a young girl. Little did I know then that the color blue would open a whole new world of wonder to me. I hope you too will find the magic seeds that open your eyes and heart to the world. More about indigo. It's extracted from not just one species of plant, but from a handful of species found in different parts of the world. Jojoc, the species I've described in the story, is known as Polygonum tinctorium and is sometimes called Japanese indigo. Istasias tinctoria, called woad, is a species of flowering perennials that have been widely cultivated in Europe, Central Asia, and East Asia. Today, woad is widespread in portions of the western United States where it's considered a weed. Woad was once the most common source of indigo dyes in Europe, but has now been surpassed in popularity by a similar plant family called Indigofera tinctoria. This is the plant mentioned in the book. Strobilanthias Cusia. This perennial plant is also known as Assam indigo. It thrives in the tropical regions of Asian countries such as India, Thailand, and Vietnam, as well as China and Japan. In addition to its value for dyeing, Assam indigo is also used for treating sore throat, fever, and other medicinal purposes. An Indigofera genus is made up of many different plant species. Of these, Indigofera tinctoria and Indigofera suffruticosia are the ones most often cultivated for their blue pigments for dyeing. Another nickname for the plants of this genus is tropical indigo because they grow so well in the warmer climates of West Africa, South Asia, Mexico, and the southern United States. It says, in Korea, the culturally rich city of Naju is the center of traditional indigo dyeing. Naju is blessed with plenty of water, fertile soil, and temperate climate. If you visit Naju today, you can see how Koreans have made indigo dye since ancient times. The long history of traditional jojoc dyeing in Korea goes back to sometime during the Three Kingdoms period, 57 BC to 668 AD. Since then, many sad events have occurred that have endangered the jojoc tradition along with many other aspects of Korean culture. One of the biggest such event was the Korean War, which divided the country into two. The destruction of numerous farms across the entire Korean peninsula brought jojoc farming to a complete halt. It seemed that one of Korea's ancient cultural traditions was about to be lost. It took 30 years of hard work by the Korean government and individual farmers to revive the cultivation of jojoc. In recent times, the Korean government has designated the most knowledgeable indigo dye masters and the indigo dye process itself as living national treasures that it hopes to protect, preserve, and pass down to the people of future generations. Yay. It has a couple different methods to do the leaf pounding method and a salt rubbing method, making the real blue from green indigo leaves. And then it has this cool, the indigo shade map in the back from Mexico, Guatemala, the United States, Tunisia, Congo, Nigeria, Cameroon, India, Korea, Japan, all these beautiful shades of indigo. And there, I love this. So pretty. And that is the book, My Indigo World. Wow. I hope you like that one. Let me turn this off. It won't be so bright on you. There we go. Ah, yay. So I have a little something to share with you on this. There we go. And we're going to go, when I was in Oaxaca, I was really fortunate to go to a village of weavers and speak with a family of weavers that have been, their family has been doing this, and the people in this village have been doing their weaving, their dyeing process, and their way they handle the wool since Aztec time. And it was really, really fascinating. So I'm going to have that for you right there, and we're going to show you, oops, that's not that. There. We're going to go to the next one, back where we were at the story, but we're going to do here, there. And I'll take this and go to the larger side. So here is a picture that I took at, let's see, there we go. I took this picture at the village where I went to visit, and this is a, the indigo, like she talked about that paste. This is what they've done. They've gotten that paste, and that's a bowl that has chunks in it of the indigo paste. And then what they'll do is they'll take the wool and dip it, this is wool that they've carded and hand spun, taken and washed down at they wash it in the river still, and just the same way with rocks and just do the whole thing the same way. Bring it up, card it, spin it, hang it to dry, and then they make them into these skeins, and then they dye them in the different colors they need. And all the different dyes are natural dyes that they make. And most of the dyes come from right around the village that they get, and they get them locally. Indigo is not something that they can source locally. They have to bring it in for their, so that's why they have those rocks. So they'll put them in this steaming hot vat of water with the indigo in it. And you will see that he was dipping it. And you dipped it in and and the longer you left it in, the darker it would go. But you could bring it out and you would see he would dip it and show us these colors. And then it will sit and get darker. As you pull it out, you see how it greens to that. That's the colors of the rug that I bought there, that I have. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And then it can dry to this deep, deep dark, depending. This was a set that they had left in for a long time. And it comes to this. And that's the hand woven, hand spun wool. And here was one of the things that they still use to spin it. And those were all, see all the blues that they have of the indigo. And then up above, you'll see, I don't know if my cursor will show it. Nope, it doesn't show on there. The colors, the green colors, the kind of a deep forest green, that was a combination of indigo and some other colors, but they use them to make these beautiful array of colors. It was just fascinating. And I was in a little bit of heaven being there, watching them do this. It was just really cool. So I wonder if I have one more picture of the gentleman that was doing it. Yeah, there he is. There you go. There's one more. How they spin. He was giving it, he's been doing this for, their family's been doing this for generations. It was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, yay. That's the story of my indigo world. And that's the first of the bees. But I had one other book, and it's a short one. And it was just a beautiful kind of book of almost a poem. And it's called Brown is Warm and Black is Bright. It is by Sarah L. Thompson. She's written Wombat Underground, a wildfire survival story, which I believe I read to you. And the text for Brown is Warm and Black is Bright began when Sarah noticed how many picture books celebrating color failed to mention brown and black. Yeah. Two of the loveliest and most prevalent colors in the world. She lives in Portland, Maine, and she invites you to visit her website, sarahlthompson.com. And Keith Millett is the illustrator. He's an acclaimed painter, etcher, and ceramic artist who has illustrated numerous children's books, including When Langston Dances, and Sing a Song, and Take a Picture of Me, James Van Der Zee. His work has been exhibited around the world in corporate and private collections and has appeared in magazines, films, and television shows. And he lives in San Diego. And he invites you to visit his website at keithmillett.com. Very cool. So this book is called Brown is Warm, Black is Bright. And let's get to that. And we are still back on that. Take this screen share. There we go. Now you need some light back to really get this book. There we go. There we go. Brown is warm, black is bright. Has these beautiful end papers. And look at just the whole warmth of the colors that is done. It's so, so gorgeous. Does it tell me? Nope, probably tells me at the end. Brown is crisp. Crunch and crackle, catch me as I fall. Black is splash. Spray, splatter, to send a puddle flying. Brown is strong. A ship to hold me high in leafy skies, seas. Black is flight. Inky wings on wet watercolor clouds. Brown is beckoning. A faithful path to follow all the way home. Black is hope. Floating far, a flower hidden deep. Brown is sweet. A spoon of sunlight swirling in my cup. Black is blossoming. ideas opening, unfurling on a page. Brown is rich. Tender darkness. Oops. A river of sound rushing from rippling strings. Black is bright. Tender darkness glowing between stars. Brown is safe. When your hand hold mine. Black is deep. When your eyes meet mine. Brown is warm, soft and breathing, curled up next to me. Black is quiet as a kiss. When my dreams begin. And that's brown is warm, black is bright. Oh my goodness. I love that one. There we go. Yes, that's a really cool book. Just simple and beautiful poem with just 2 colors. That color palette, I love that. Anyway, I hope tonight brought you some good vibes and some bucket filling. And thank you for joining me tonight for another episode of Story and Art. Even if it is a premiere and I can't be with you face to face, no, I'm thinking about you, and I'm so grateful every time I get to share these stories, that I get to think about my bucket filling brigade, the people that come to these, the community that we've built, and anyone else who gets to hear these stories and share in the wonder that is children's literature and the illustrations and the stories they tell and the messages that they bring to us. Yes. So until next time, everyone, give yourselves a high five and keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in the mirror. And I'll see you next time.
Not you, not her, not him or them gon' stop me from getting mine now. Not you, not her, not him or them gon' silence my rising inner child. And every time I look up in the sky, I know it'll be alright. Yeah. And every time I look up in the sky, I know it'll be alright. Yeah. Gotta get mine.